Howdy, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Alex. I'm the founder of Gameplay Candles. And tonight, I need your help to please help me welcome my nimble co host, whose nurturing nature and never ending passion for Dungeons and Dragons will leave you needing more. He navigates the nuances of D&D with no need for help, and his knack for storytelling and natural charm enthralls his audiences, while his noble mentorship nurtures new knaves to knighthood. Please welcome Steve to the live stream. Welcome, Steve.
Hey, Alex, how's it going? Good evening, everyone.
Hi. Oh, we got Squirrels in the house. Hi, Squirrels. How you doing? All right. Well, the first thing that we do here every Wednesday at 9 o'clock is our flash sale. So the way this works, actually, Steve, you tell us how this works, so I can cue up the up the camera.
Gladly, Alex. So the way this works is we roll a virtual D20, and whatever we land on, we will add 10, and that will be the total percentage we'll get off for the next hour. So from 9 p.m. Central Standard Time to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, we'll use the code, which will be presented here in a minute, and you can get that % off. So please, Alex, let's roll and see if we can get
big money. Big money, big money.
Come on.
All right, 13. That's pretty decent. So that's a total of 23% off your entire order. If you head on over to gameplaycandles.com, you'll be able to take 23 off your whole order if you just use the rule or the code House Rules at checkout. That's House Rules, all caps, no spaces, and you'll get 23% off your order from now until 10 o'clock Central Time.
That's with an S, not a Z.
Yes, right. We're not that cool, you know. We don't.
Not 1990s cool.
Yeah. Is there a cooler time than the 1990s? If so,
no, it's only
I don't even want to know.
20 years ago, right?
Oh God, we're old. Okay, wow. Well, yep, that's it. We're dating ourselves a little bit. 23% off your whole order. Head on over to gameplaycandles.com anytime in the next hour to make use of that. So we got some quick business updates. You won't believe it. Oh, 80s squirrels. Who's dating themselves now? I don't feel so old anymore. Quick business update. You guys won't believe it, but it's still super hot in Central Texas. So we're still in our summer shipping schedule. We're only shipping orders on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. This is so orders don't spend a weekend in an unair-conditioned warehouse melting. And it's a little annoying because it might take a little bit longer for your orders to get to you, but trust me, it's for everybody's benefit. Second up, we launched our summer seasonal collection a few weeks back, and we're calling this collection the Call to Adventure, which continues along the hero's path that we started with our spring collection, the Normal World. And so tonight we're going to be featuring the last of the three seasonal candles that we launched. We've already talked about Enchanted Cotton, my personal favorite, and we've already talked about Midsummer Seance with all its midnight flower goodies and whatnot. Tonight we're going to be talking about Merfolk Isle. So just imagine this scene, if you will. White sand beaches and swaying palm trees belie the danger lurking just below the gently lapping waves. Seagulls wheel overhead and fish frolic in the shallows as if coaxing unwary sailors off their ships and onto the forbidden land. Here, the powerful Merfolk kingdom has staked their claim, and they guard it with uncanny ferocity against all threats, real or perceived. This gentle paradise lies unspoiled by the surface races, but is maintained so only through dire action. So that sort of puts you in the right mindset, I hope, and the right frame of mind when we're talking about the sense here. And the sense that we're talking about specifically, hang on a second, let me share this cool little graphic we got here. So we have a very tropical, beachy vibe, as you might imagine. Coconut is front and center on this. We got vanilla orchids, warm sand, hibiscus flowers, blue sea kelp, which don't ask me the difference between blue and green other than the scent. Oh, good, wife. Oh, good, squirrels. Okay, excellent. But yeah, let's see. Tonka bean, driftwood, white thyme, and sandalwood. Very beachy. Steve, you got it burning right now. Like we didn't plan this, but
Yeah.
you know, the universe guided your hand onto the right seasonal. What is your take on it?
So I have an older brother who's retired in Hawaii, and
Mm,
it kind of reminds me of that. Just a nice beach, relaxing. Um, yeah, it's just nice. It's very
yeah,
summer. What I wish the summer was, if it was at 90 or 85, not 105. But
yeah, right. Yeah, not too many places in Central Texas would smell like that, but like that coconut and the vanilla orchids, especially, I think like give off that beach vibe that we were
oh,
going
for
to. You know,
sure.
when we were first talking about um, when we were first like planning out the summer line, at first we had 3 candles that were all beach inspired and whatnot. And then we're like, we got to pretend that there's more than just the coast in a fantasy setting. But this one sort of encapsulates the best aspects of all 3 of those initial candles. So
Yeah, it reminds me of either Aquaman or Baywatch.
yeah, there you go. Yeah.
It really dating myself.
Yeah. Especially that Aquaman. Like I can't remember animated Aquaman, except for those horrible animations where they have like a moving mouth, like in a still frame animated.
Wow,
You
that's
know, like from the
yes.
'60s Hanna Barbera style. Who's dating themselves now? Okay, very good. That's our seasonal candle update. That's the final of the 3 that we launched a few weeks ago. Those summer seasonals are going to be available until the fall when our fall seasonals launch. But we are also doing something a little different. Whenever you place an order at gameplaycandles.com, you'll be offered the chance to get a tea light sample pack of just these 3 summer seasonals, and it's just $2 to add that on. It's like a really cheap adder, so that you can sense or you can test these scents and figure out which one or 2 or all 3 you like enough to commit to either a candle tin or a candle jar. We got them both. So super friends unite. Yes, squirrels. Excellent. Okay. What else? What else did we launch, Steve? We launched something. We launched our core collection, didn't we?
Yeah, there's a core collection, and what does that launch? The new ones?
Those
Last
came out
Friday.
last Friday, I
Yep.
think. And if I'm, I'll pretend I own this business. Yeah, they came out last Friday.
I,
Yeah,
I was trying to throw you
and
a softball there.
yeah, right. And last Friday, you know, we were able to extend the core collection into 3 new scents. These core collection scents are going to be available, you know, ad infinitum. They're gonna always be available in our shop, and so let's talk about those real quick. So that's the Merfolk Isle. That's our seasonal. But our newest core collection, the first one we'll talk about is Ranger's Refuge. This is a home away from home that probably only the ranger knows about. Maybe the druid's aware of it, but yeah, the ranger goes here to get away from the press and the commotion and hubbub of the city and get some time to recharge their batteries. I imagine an introvert ranger. Steve, you play the exact character actually that I imagined when I was designing this.
Yes, he hates people and would much rather be in the forest where he feels safe and
Yeah,
sound and secure, smoking
yeah,
a
and
tobacco
so
pipe and reading a book.
safe, sound, and secure to me translates into like cedar, tobacco, clove, um, you know, some very heavy bass notes like that, and then lighter notes of sweet orange, brandy, even, and like leather, sort of like tying it all together in the
Okay.
middle. And so, yeah, it's a really pleasant, like woodsy sort of scent. Um, let's see. The next one we got here is Monk's Monastery. I added this one specifically for our friend Adam, who played a monk in our last campaign, because he accused me of not showing the monks any love on one of these live streams, and now you can't. But yeah, this is a. I mean, we have patchouli right there. Oh, a ranger in Pathfinder 2 game. Ranger, yes, excellent. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Andrew. You know, I am criminally um, uninvolved and unaware of Pathfinder 2E specifics, but I've committed myself to learning that game system. It's like the next natural evolution, I think, from D&D 5th edition. Is what it's been explained to me that way, anyway. But yeah, I gotta figure out how to put a game of that together. Anywho, Monk's Monastery, classic patchouli scent, front and center. And then we have, brighter notes of tea leaves and ginger dancing on top of that or mingling with that. Lilac, apple, flower petals bring in the middle, and then a very heavy musk scent on the bottom. So overall, like a really pleasant sort of really unique scent that nothing else in our line has. Like the sense of ginger and tea leaves especially is really distinctive. But yeah, that's a good one. And then the last one we launched recently was Cleric's Cathedral, and this was in our scent testers feedback. We had one person provide feedback that said this is exactly what you'd imagine a cathedral to smell like. So think of all those like holy herbs and whatnot: cedar leaf, peppermint, eucalyptus, spearmint. Very cleansing, very clean. And then, mixed in with sandalwood and clove to sort of bring in some complexity. Patchouli also bringing a lot of complexity there, and then a touch of willow leaf to round it out. But yeah, it's a really fantastic scent, and we're so glad to now offer those year round until the end of time, as far as Gameplay Candles is concerned. But yeah, have I talked enough about that? I think my people. If people are still here, I'm amazed. Let's see. We have just about wrapped up.
And if you want to try out those new core collection, you can get 20% off.
Yeah. I mean, now's a great time. Pick up tins, and you can get that 23% discount for the next, looks like 45-ish minutes. Okay, what do you think of a Goblin's Retreat candle would smell like if you're going to give monks a shout out? Well, Goblins Retreat. So like the end game is to sell candles, right? So we actually have a super secret project that we're working on that is for those less desirable scents like Owlbear's Nest and maybe Goblin's Refuge, where you're not stuck with a candle that burns for like 12 hours that smells like putrid meat. But rather something that's more of a quick burst of scent, but then dissipates as quickly as it comes. So this sounds like a prime candidate for that. But Goblin's Refuge, I'm thinking like, meat, body odor. Goblins are nasty little creatures, right? I'm reading a book right now that we just got to the goblins. The book's called Black Tongue Thief, and the goblins are freaking horrible monster like little people that are like filled with biological weaponry built into their like body. So it's like, you want to go there? Okay. Pustules, and I don't know, what does pus smell like,
I could say like an iron scent.
Yeah.
That could be blood or steel.
Oh yeah, that's true, because you get that copper tang from the blood smell. Yeah. Even though I suppose it's really iron. Yeah, Pam, you read Black Tongue Thief? That's really interesting. What was your favorite part? Excellent. Let's see. All right, keeping this pain train rolling. We have sent out our fall. We've sent out our fall samples, and Squirrel, like you said, you got those samples. I'm really looking forward to that feedback. Although we're like butting up against the end of the window. If at all possible, get that feedback in by Friday. That's when peppermint. Peppermint for goblins, Squirrel? Explain yourself. But if you can get that feedback in by Friday, that'd be super. Friday is when we sort of closing the drawbridge, and we're making a line in the sand, and across this line, you do not cross. Oh, awesome, Squirrel. Okay, all right. Yeah. So tomorrow or Friday, the cutoff date is for submitting feedback, and then every scent tester who submitted and completed the form will be entered into a drawing. Squirrel won the last, the greenbacks. Interesting. Squirrel won the last drawing and got his candle. Squirrel, you're eligible still to win if you get that feedback in. There's no no tag backs or anything like that. You're in the running still if you get that in. But if you, dear listener, want to get free stuff in the mail for our winter line that we're in the middle of planning right now, then you just need to head on over to go.gameplaykandles.com/tester and sign up to be a scent tester. Before we pour tea light samples of all the upcoming scents, I check the current list of people who've submitted, and they each, that's how many tea lights I know to make. And so I'll make those tea lights, I'll mail them out, and you'll get free tea lights in the mail. We make a form that's pretty straightforward and easy to submit feedback to. You let us know what you like, what you didn't like, where we can improve. And I know I've gotten some very valuable feedback already for the fall scents that we'll be implementing before we launch. And so that's like the dream, is like getting all this feedback and having actionable response to it so that we can be empirically better than we were before. Peppermint can be a strong smell that goblins use to cover up other smells they might not enjoy. Oh, interesting. Huh. Was it World War One? Like they would stick camphor laden cotton swabs or whatever in their noses when they were traversing the no man's land, because there were like big craters that filled in with water over the months and other less desirable things like bodies and stuff. So
I know crime scenes,
like the peppermint equivalent.
Crime scenes sometimes will do the same thing.
Oh,
examiners, they'll put Vicks vapor rub or whatever to try to mask that smell.
That sounds painful. I make candles. Thankfully, I surround myself with smells I want to smell. But that's an interesting tidbit there. I did not know that about goblins. Look at that, and I've learned something today.
Hey, Alex.
Yo.
Our code is house rules. Why is our code house rules?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Steve. Tonight for our D&D topic, we're going to be discussing what house rules we use at our tables. And so I have a short list here. Steve, I think you have a short list there. And I really want this to be like an interactive thing with our listeners. I want to know what house rules you use to spice up D&D and make it your own at your table.
Alex, let's say I'm new to D&D. Could you explain real quickly in a sentence or two what is a house rule?
Yeah. So a house rule is a deviation from the rules as written in the core books that Wizards of the Coast put out for Dungeons and Dragons. So a lot of people will make house rules that seem to aid in the enjoyment of the game, or to address shortcomings in the rules as they were written, or to fix rules as written to be closer with the rules as intended. There's that distinction. It's rules as written is referred to as raw, R-A-W, and rules as intended is ray, I guess, R-A-I. I've actually never heard anybody call that. So
spirit of the law.
Spirit, yes, exactly. So yeah, that's the rules. That's the house rules. It varies from house to house because it's not standardized through the rule books.
Yeah.
But yeah, Steve, why don't you kick us off with one of the house rules that you've enjoyed at your gaming tables?
Yeah, so one of my favorite ones is when we do a crit. So whether it's a crit 20 or a crit 1, we like to pull out our mega die.
Yeah, I remember when you first bought this, I was like, "Don't roll that on my table, buddy."
Yeah, so I've got a T100. I swear this thing weighs like 3/4 pound.
It's made of it's metal and it's heavy and
it's a golf ball. So we use this. So if I roll a D20 or a 20 or a 1, and then we've got a table. That's kind of hard to see, but it basically, if you get the 1, you roll it, and then let's say you roll a. Oh, sorry, my dog's going. Of course, but if you were to roll, let's say like a 86, then you would hit self for half damage, like if you rolled a 1. If you got rolled 100, freak accident, immediate death.
Yeah,
not fun. but always a possibility. 96, hit closest ally, 50% damage. So
yeah,
it's a fun thing. And then again, if you get a 20, let's say you roll 100, lucky strike, immediate death for the bad guy. Let's say you get 88, the target has a leg, the leg is broken, is prone for 1 round, speed reduced by 50 until fully healed or rested. So there's just a little bit of additional, I don't know, fun to it.
And then,
yeah.
but on the flip side, like those are all excellent, things to happen or tragic things to happen. What if you roll low on those? Are you still screwed if you fumble but roll low, or
Well, if you
what?
fumble and roll low, then so on this particular chart, if you get, let's say you get a crit 1, and then you roll like a 1 through 50, I think we have here is just you slip and lose an action. So it's not bad. You just kind of your turns
Okay.
well, that's it.
Yeah,
It's not the end of the world.
I got you. All right. So high risk, high reward. Andrew comments, in my 5e campaign, we use homebrew weapon and armor rules to make things more interesting for the martial characters. Weapon choice actually matters now instead of just assigning you, do you want your 1d8 strength damage to be slicey, pointy, or crunchy? That's like the saddest new rebranding for Snap, Crackle, and Pop I've ever heard. But slicey, pointy, and crunchy.
I like it.
Oh, well, I want to probe that a little bit, actually. So, like, how do the weapon choices matter now? Is there like a defensive equivalent? Let's see. If you roll a nat 1 but fail, you get a single point to add to any roll. But a nat 1, you fail, but get a single point to add to any roll during the session. Oh, like a +1 to any roll in the session, Squirrel? I like that rule. Though, what's the, what am I trying to say here? Like, just to make things more interesting, I suppose. I mean, as a player, shoot, even as a DM, I'd let that slide. I like, okay, gotcha. Any roll in the game, +1 for that evening.
Yeah.
I dig that.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, Alex, what's one of your favorite?
Okay, all right. Well, if I like from the very beginning, my mentality around the D&D table is I want everyone to feel epic at least once per session, and it's up to the DM to create an adventure or a scenario that plays to each individual's characters. Like I have a little cheat sheet for all my characters where I'm like, okay, well, Mucho's best at these things, and Draper is best at these things. And I'll try to I'll go down a checklist and try to mix and match so that every character gets their chance to shine. But my fear is, well, what if there is no strengths in a character, nothing that makes them stick out? So at the very beginning of character creation, I have a different way of approaching that because it creates more epic characters. So we do the 4d6 rolls. Roll 4 6-sided dice, drop the lowest value, and that's a score for an ability. Do that 7 times, and then drop the lowest of those scores, so you end up with 6 abilities. And then on top of that, any time during all that rolling, you can choose to, in the moment, re-roll one of those d6s. You can do that 2 times during the whole cycle. You can't wait to the end and be like, oh, I should have used it here, let me re-roll that. No, you have to do it in the moment. So there's a little more high stakes tactical thinking involved. Yeah, so that's my house rule for character creation, and it seems to generate some pretty strong characters, which is what I want. I want everyone to have a character that really stands out. Now, when you've played enough as me, you enjoy the challenge. So sometimes when I'm creating a character, I'll purposefully put in a drawback or a dump stat that's actually bad. I think Adam is at that level too, especially given we just started a new campaign, and our friend Adam is playing a druid who's he's a coward. He's a coward, but unbeknownst to us, our other friend at the table is a bard who was able to cast courage on him and actually make him courageous. So that really worked well. Yeah, that's got to be my first like go-to house rule to talk about. Yeah.
Are there any other popular ones? I know there's sometimes some debate about the action required for drinking a potion during combat.
Oh yeah, we both share this one, right?
Yeah.
And I think so. In my research for tonight's episode, it was I discovered it was Matt Mercer who popularized the house rule that drinking potions is a bonus action rather than a full action in a round of combat. Because I think the player's handbook specifies it as like a interact with an object action, which would consume the whole action. But like, that's too big a penalty in my book, and I guess Matt Mercer's book too. To someone drinking a health potion.
It slows down combat so much.
Yeah, you don't want to. Otherwise, you don't want to dissuade players from drinking potions. Otherwise, you'll end up with players who have like every potion they've ever come across in the campaign when they go face the BBEG. Let's see. Andrew says the bard uses inspired courage and tells him quit crying, and you're kind of like, that's the first time someone said that and actually worked. Thank you. Yeah, it was pretty epic. The moment that our bard busted that one out, it was great. Like the druid was like literally at the back of the crowd, about to like dip and peace out, and then he just started charging forward. So it was quite the dramatic turnaround.
That's good role play.
Yeah. Oh, and let's see. Squirrel says bonus action potion is almost canon now. Agree. Like, and that's something that I came up with on my own because it just makes so much sense. But like, I'm glad that I'm not alone in doing it. When I saw that Matt Mercer was behind like a little movement around that, it just makes perfect sense. The one exception to that at my tables is the if you're using that potion on somebody else, like you don't have the innate hand-eye coordination that you do when you're chugging your own potion. So that's going to be an action to like revive a downed enemy with a health potion, or in the middle of combat, try to like douse your compatriot with an invisibility potion or something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You want to make it fun, but you also don't want to make it overpowered.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And so, I mean, I think folks at our tables, Steve, they consume potions relatively regularly. Oh. They're playing us off. No, I'm kidding. There's we're testing out background music, I guess. But
we just drank a potion of background sound.
Yeah, a potion of bardic inspiration. Is that a thing? It is now. Whatchamacallit? Steve, you've heard me say this one a couple times, but oh, thanks. My brilliant wife and producer is letting me know that she forgot to play it before. Thank you, honey. Let's see. Steve, you've heard me say it before. No trigonometry at my table, and so I've sort of incorporated this as a house rule, but it's also like a bit of D&D, I guess, flair for DMs. This is like a stylistic choice on my part. But if there is the opportunity to use trigonometry at my table, I'll shun it actively. We use a battle mat grid. I do let players like move diagonally on it without counting it as 7 feet or 7 point whatever feet. That's just going to be a 5 foot. And I haven't had a player like just move diagonally across to try to like, get more than 30 feet of movement out of it. Last night, actually, there was an opportunity where they were like elevated 5 feet and they wanted to see if they could reach diagonally down and to the left, and that would be more than 5 feet of reach. But it's like, I'm just going to rule that, yeah, you can do that. So no trigonometry at my table. Respect the DM's rulings on that stuff. I've never had an issue. I always fail rule of cool anyway, so I think that is a house rule that works for me. Anyway, yeah. Let's see. Andrew adds here, I had a blood hunter in one game who found a potion in a hexagonal glass bottle, and anytime the bottle was rolled between her hands, it would make a sound like wind chimes. She never drank it to find out what it actually did. She just liked listening to the ringing sound. Well, the real potion are the wind chimes you make along the way, I guess.
And if it's a bonus action, why not?
Yeah. That's pretty funny. Andrew, were you the DM for that one, or did you ever know what that potion would do, or is it just a perpetual mystery to this day? Let us know. Yeah. Yes, I'm with you, Squirrel. Yeah, having potions that have like effects other than the magic that they imbue when drinking, that's a great idea. Never once learned what it was supposed to. Ah, shucks. It sounds really interesting. I do describe the potions, and I'll usually throw in a clue as to their nature if they roll a high enough Arcana or investigation check. Like with a potion of fire breathing, it's obviously red with like gold sparkles in it, and you swear you can smell like smoke leaking out of the edges of the cork. That's something I might come up with. Mystery adds to the memory. You're so right, Andrew.
We had a good one where in the DM I had a room full of like bases and potions. As a DM, I used a table, so when they would pick it up, I would roll. I had no idea what it was going to be.
Yeah.
And
it's fun to surprise yourself as a DM, isn't it?
Yeah, I had one where the bard went from female to male.
Fantastic. Yep. Well, Steve, we've wasted a whole half hour of these 5
already.
Can you believe it?
It does fly by fast.
I know. Well, I just want to give one more shout out to head on over to GameplayCandles.com. Use the code HouseRules at checkout to get 23% off your entire order. And if you're seeing this after 10 o'clock Central Time on Wednesday, the 26th of July, 2023, then fear not. We're here every Wednesday at 9. You can like and subscribe to make sure you never miss an episode. And we do flash sales like this every week. So, yeah. Steve, did I miss anything? You're always keeping me honest here, buddy.
No, like, subscribe, and if you see this not live and we don't have the discount, as Alex said, we'll do it again next Wednesday, so you get the opportunity.
Yeah,
so join us, have some fun.
That's right. We'll be talking about something else fun, like these house rules. All righty, folks. We'll take care, and we'll catch you later.